friends, welcome to our channel. Friends, today we will see MCQs on Transfer of Property Act. Friends, watch our complete video, like it, share it, comment on it. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. So friends, we will see multiple choice question of Transfer of Property Act with answer. Question number 1. Under the provisions of the Transfer of Property Act, the seller is duty bound to disclose. Answer is latent defects in the property. Question number 2. The provision for the joint transfer for consideration is dealt in. Answer is Section 45 of the Transfer of Property Act. Question number 3. What is the default interest payable under Section 63 and Section 63A of the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is 9% per annum. Question number 4. Where the mortgage is illegal for want of registration, but the mortgagee continues in possession of the mortgage property. A valid mortgage comes in existence after the expiry of. Answer is 12 years. Question number 5. Presumption of equity pertains to. Answer is Section 45 of the Transfer of Property Act. Question number 6. Which of the following is not valid consideration for establishing a lease? Answer is a personal agreement by a tenant to pay a certain sum or a certain quantity in kind to the landlord. Question number 7. Which of the following are valid illustrations of an anomalous mortgage? Answer is a possessory mortgage with the right to cause the mortgage property to sell in the event of default in payment. Question number 8. Which of the following can be considered implied surrender of the lease? Answer is abandonment of possession by the lessee. Question number 9. Which of the following can be transferred under the provisions of the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is a decree for mesne profits. Question number 10. Which of the following instruments have been excluded by the application of Section 137 of the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is both A and B. Means option number A, shares. Option number B, bills of exchange. Question number 11. Which of the following is a valid example of a vested interest as defined by the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is B. A deceased in his will leaves a residential property to C to be transferred on the death of B's daughter-in-law. Question number 12. Which of the following is a valid example of contingent interest as defined by the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is B. Made a gift of rupees 15,000 to A, deposited in an account to be transferred to A when he attains age of majority. Question number 13. Which of the following is nearest to meaning of the phrase English mortgage as defined by the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is where there are two sales made, one at the start of mortgage with the condition that after the mortgage amount is paid back, the property will sold back. Question number 14. Which of the following is the definition of the term exchange as given under the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is when two persons mutually transfer the ownership of one thing for the ownership of another neither thing or both things being money only. Question number 15. Which of the following is the presumption made for lease under the Transfer of Property Act unless a contract or local usage states otherwise? Answer is the lease of immovable property for purpose other than agriculture and manufacturing will be deemed to be for a period of 1 month. Question number 16. Which of the following is the time limit given under section 17 of the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is a period of 18 years from the date of transfer. Question number 17. Which of the following is true regarding the right of subrogation as defined under the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is any person redeeming the property under the provisions of section 91 of the Act has the same rights as the mortgagor against the mortgagee. Question number 18. Which of the following is a valid gift under the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is a gift of single rose valued ₹3 to a donee in return of the donee being a considerate person. Question number 19. Which of the following sections of the Transfer of Property Act deal with the appointment of a receiver? Answer is section 69A. Question number 20. Which of the following sections of the provisions of the Transfer of Property Act deals with relief against forfeiture for the non-payment of rent? Answer is section 114. Question number 21. Which of the following sections of the Transfer of Property Act do not apply to persons governed by Mohammedan law? Answer is section 11. Question number 22. Which of the following sections of the Transfer of Property Act were repealed by the Transfer of Property Act 1929? Answer is both A and B. Means option number A section 74, option number B section 75. Question number 23. Which of the following statements are true regarding rights and liabilities of lessor under the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is lessee must not without permission erect on the property any permanent structure except for agricultural purpose. Question number 24. Which of the following statements hold true regarding receiver under the provisions of the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is the receiver can use the insurance money received subject to other provisions of the Transfer of Property Act for the payment of principal money if so directed in writing by the mortgagee. Question number 25. Which of the following statements is true regarding definition given under the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is the term attested means attested by two or more witnesses. Question number 26. Which of the following statements is true regarding suit for redemption of mortgage property under the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is any surety for the payment of the mortgage debt can bring the suit. Question number 27. Based on court ruling in India, which of the following activities will qualify for the purpose of provisions of section 18 of the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is a permanent bequest by Parsi for the performance of Muqtad ceremony. Question number 28. C and B are two brothers living as a joint family. They decided to have a partition. In the partition deed, the house with well fell on C, and B was allowed to take water from the well out of brotherly love. The right to take water will be in form of, answer is, irrevocable license. Question number 29. Charge can be created by, answer is, both A and B. Option number A, act of parties. Option number B, operation of law. Question number 30. Contract of tenancy can be split up by, answer is, operation of law. Question number 31. In case a lease is made for a certain period, mentioning that it is terminable before its expiration, without mentioning at whose option dash, answer is, only lessee will have the option of termination. Question number 32. In Dinendranath Sanyal versus Ramkumar Ghosh, it was held that, answer is, the transfer by operation of law occurs in case of testamentary and intestate succession. Question number 33. In English law, a minor cannot hold a legal estate in land. In India, a lease by a minor is dash, answer is void. Question number 34. In Roman law, the earliest type of security was, answer is, the fiducia. Question number 35. In which of the following cases did J. Kekwich said that you cannot limit an estate to a man and his heirs until he shall convey the land to a stranger, because it is of the essence of an estate in fee that it confers free power of alienation, and it has long been settled that the same principle is applicable to gift of personality. Answer is Metcalfe versus Metcalfe. Question number 36. In which of the following cases is rule against perpetuity not applicable under the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is, in case property is transferred for building a library for comic books. Question number 37. In which of the following cases will the Pushne mortgagee has no right to redeem a prior mortgage? Answer is all of these, means option number A, Pushne mortgage is invalid. Option number B, Pushne mortgage is time barred. Option number C, Pushne mortgagee has lost all remedies of foreclosure. Question number 38. Section 5 of the Transfer of Property Act, answer is, does not apply to property sold in auction sale. Question number 39. Subrogation as defined in section 92 of the Transfer of Property Act can be, answer is either A or B, means option number A conventional, option number B legal. Question number 40. The basic ingredients of the doctrine of lease pendants are, answer is, a litigation should be pending in a court of competent jurisdiction. Question number 41. The doctrine of lease pendants, answer is applicable on both partial and absolute transfers. Question number 42. The the English rule against perpetuities deals with? Answer is both A and B. Means option A, interest to arise in future. Option B, interest in prosody. Question number 43. The English rule that a grant should be construed most favorably to the sovereign. Answer is not applicable in India. Question number 44. The first draft Bill of Transfer of Property Act was made by? Answer is First Law Commission. Question number 45. The forfeiture under section 111G of the Transfer of Property Act can dash. Answer is can be waived off by accepting of rent becoming due after forfeiture as long as lessor knows that forfeiture has incurred. Question number 46. The notice period for termination of lease for residential purpose is dash. In absence of contract or usage to the contrary. Answer is 15 days. Question number 47. The Privy Council in Mohammad Sher Khan versus Seth Swami Dayal has settled that. Answer is section 98 of the Transfer of Property Act is subject to section 60 of the Transfer of Property Act. Question number 48. The provision of section 60A of the Transfer of Property Act do not apply when dash. Answer is the mortgagor has recovered possession of the property. Question number 49. The rule against perpetuity as given in section 14 of the Transfer of Property Act applies to. Answer is both A and B. Means option A, immovable property. Option B, movable property. Question number 50. Transfer of space succession is. Answer is void. Question number 51. Under the provision of the Transfer of Property Act, if there are patent defect in the property, answer is the maximum caveat emptor will apply. Question number 52. Under the provision of the Transfer of Property Act, the seller is duty bound to disclose. Answer is latent defects in the property. Question number 53. Under the provision of Transfer of the Property Act, the benefits of a contract can be assigned as an actionable claim and transferred unless. Answer is either A or B. Means option number A. The contract is one which had been induced by personal qualification or consideration as to the parties to it. Option number B. The benefit is coupled with an obligation which the assigner is bound to discharge. Question number 54. What is the default interest payable under section 63 and section 63A of the Transfer of Property Act? Answer is 9% per annum. Question number 55. Where the mortgage is illegal for want of registration, but the mortgagee continues in possession of the mortgage property. A valid mortgage comes in existence after the expiry of. Answer is 12 years. Question number 56. Which of the following are not valid? Following are not valid consideration for establishing a lease. Answer is a personal agreement by tenant to pay a certain sum or a certain quantity in kind to the landlord. Question number 57. Which of the following are valid illustration of an anomalous mortgage? Answer is a possessory mortgage with the right to cause the mortgage property to sell in the event of default in payment. Question number 58. It transfers property to B for life and after his death to C and D, equally to be divided between them or to the survivors of them. C dies during life of B, D survives B. At B's death, the property, answer is, shall pass to D. Question number 59. The provision of conditional transfer is provided in the Transfer of Property Act. Answer is section 25. Question number 60. X transfer rupees 500 to Y on condition that he shall execute a certain lease within 3 months after Y's death, and if he should neglect to do so, to Z, if Y dies in X lifetime. Answer is, the disposition in favor of Z takes effect. Question number 61. X marries to Y, but in case she dies in his lifetime, he would transfer the property to Z. X and Y perish together under circumstances which make it impossible to prove that she died before him. The disposition of property in favor of Z, answer is, does not take effect. Question number 62. Under the provision of section 29 of the Transfer of Property Act, an ulterior disposition of the kind contemplated in the provision of section 28 cannot take effect unless, answer is, condition is strictly fulfilled. Question number 63. In case of transfer of property under the Transfer of Property Act, if the ulterior disposition is not valid, then, answer is, the prior disposition is not affected by it. Question number 64. A transfer a garden to B for her life with a proviso that in case B cuts down a certain wood, the transfer shall cease to have any effect. B cuts down the wood. Decide the case in the light of Transfer of Property Act. Answer is, B loses his life interest in the farm. Question number 65. Under the provisions of section 35 of the Transfer of Property Act, where a person professes to transfer property which he has no right to transfer, and as part of the same transaction confers any benefit on the owner of the property, then, answer is, such owner must elect either to confirm such transfer or to dissent from it. Question number 66. The foundation of doctrine of election under the Transfer of Property Act is that a person taking the benefit of an instrument, answer is, must bear the burden. Question number 67. The rule of election under the Transfer of Property Act as applied to will is enacted in section 180 and section 192 of the, answer is, Indian Succession Act 1925. Question number 68. A person is not put to his election unless he has a proprietary interest in the property disposed of in a derogation of his rights. This is the subject matter under provision of, answer is, section 35 of the Transfer of Property Act. Question number 69. Section 37 of the Transfer of Property Act refers to appointment by state in his light before the Transfer of Property Act. When a transfer was severed by the sale of shares in the version, the tenant was still obliged to pay the rent to all shares jointly. Answer is unless an apportionment had been agreed to by all the parties. Question number 70. In the Transfer of Property Act, Section 33 to Section 37 apply to both immovable and movable property, whereas Section 38 to Section 53 apply to. Answer is immovable property. Question number 71. Provision of Section 38 of the Transfer of Property Act does not apply to cases falling under. Answer is benamidars or ostensible owners who can give no title except by estoppel. Question number 72. Section 38 of the Transfer of Property Act has no application. Answer is to previous transfer where the transaction is still incomplete. Question number 73. Under Section 39 of the Transfer of Property Act, the provision is made for transfer where the third person is entitled to maintenance. In his context, the court held that right of maintenance, even of a Hindu widow, is an identified right which falls short of a charge. This was decided in case of. Answer is Ramanandan versus Rangammal. Question number 74. Right to maintenance under the provision of Section 39 of the Transfer of Property Act include the enhanced maintenance in future to these if there has been a material change in the circumstances. This was decided in case of. Answer is Kaveri versus Parmeshwari. So friends, thank you. We will see next video.